Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new MCR-MCO video. Today we're at Manchester Airport Terminal 2 and we're going to be flying from here to Orlando on a Virgin Atlantic Airbus A330-300 in economy class. So before the flight itself, I'm going to be staying at this Premier Inn here. It's a very standard Premier Inn, nothing too special about it, but it's quite nice. Premier Inns are always pretty decent. You might notice that tomorrow I'm not going to be able to be checking in. That's because early today I was able to check in with Virgin Atlantic's Twilight check-in, which is pretty useful, so you could check in the day before you actually fly. So I'd highly recommend doing that to anybody who's like me and wants to skip out on the queues and they're a bit impatient. Waking up at about 7 o'clock the next day, I was out of the hotel room by 7:30. I took a really nice scenic walk to Manchester Airport Terminal 2. There's a little inlet in the forest where you can actually have a look at the planes, which I thought was quite nice. Now we got through security really quickly. I think it was like 10 minutes. Even at 8 o'clock in the morning in Terminal 2, security is still really good. I'm not sure about any of the other terminals. Terminal 2 at 8 o'clock, you get really good security time. Even without fast track, I still recommend going through normal security just because it's so quick. I had fast track, but looking at all the other queues, I think you'd do pretty well even if you didn't have fast track. Now my flight has just arrived, but I'm going to be getting on it in about an hour and 30 minutes, so I'll look around the airport first. Right, okay, so in the seat now, you come with 3 complimentary headphones, a pillow, as well as a red blanket. The legroom is really good on this flight, I will give it that. You got your TV screen here, your tray table. The tray table extends nicely, just like that. Looking out the window, pretty nice view. Yeah, in here you've got your safety card and a sick bucket. So no in-flight magazine so far, but hopefully that'll come later. Also, I'd actually quite like to mention they do give you sweets if you're waiting in the departure area, which I think is quite nice. You don't really get that on any other airlines.
Electronic devices should now be set to flight mode or switched off and disconnected from the power sockets or USB ports for takeoff. Larger laptops should be switched off completely and stored away securely.
We pushed back pretty much on time, which was quite nice. However, there was a little bit of a traffic jam at Manchester Airport caused by a Gulf Air Boeing 787, which had a mechanical failure, but luckily we were able to avoid that with about 10 minutes of delay. As we reach the cruising altitude of 40,000 feet, it was time to close the window blind and turn our attention to the in-flight entertainment. There's 5 categories in this: movies, TV series, music, games, and the map. Let's have a look at the map. So it's pretty decent. You get a really nice view of where you are. The only thing is I thought that my screen took quite a lot of pressure in order to press the buttons. You can see that there. Trying to change to the heads-up display, and it's not working. You got to put a little bit of pressure on it, which I wasn't a massive fan on. Another thing I did notice is that the aircraft was quite dirty, which I was a bit disappointed about. I was watching a film, and then I noticed that there was quite a lot of dirt in the pocket. I was served a drink about 45 minutes after the takeoff. Got an orange juice, which was quite nice. Then I was served the meal. The meal was absolutely amazing. I got chicken with a tomato sauce. It was absolutely amazing. As well as a side of an apple juice. And for pudding, I had a chocolate mousse. I'd say the loo was pretty standard for economy class. It wasn't too spacious, it was actually quite small, but all aircraft toilets are small. It was alright, it was a little bit dirty though. Something I'd never seen before in an aircraft is that they were serving ice lollies when there was turbulence, which is quite nice. It sort of like soothes some passengers' fear about turbulence. And the final meal that we got for the flight was a sandwich box and an apple juice with some scones. Now, something I was extremely disappointed about on the flight, there was no duty free, which meant during the flight we weren't able to get extra food, so I was absolutely starving afterwards, and it was a little bit disappointing. Starting our descent into Orlando, it was quite rough, but that is at no fault of the airline, that's just the fault of the weather. So in total, it was a very, very mid-flight. I was really disappointed about the lack of duty-free and also the dirty aircraft. I don't think it was cleaned properly from its connecting flight. So overall, I would give this airline a 7 out of 10. It was okay, it wasn't anything special, but it's an alright airline if you're crossing the Atlantic Ocean. So thank you very much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, goodbye.